But. Hey guys, I'm out on my deck today, and whew, what a lot of stuff I have to do today. So I have to clear all of these garden beds, and so we're out on the deck. I got my trusty gloves, and I'm going to start clearing some of these garden beds because we're going to be planting some stuff. I had no idea that I would sell so many of my plants. So I have I've sold so many of my plants that I'm like, I have to get going and planting stuff because I won't have anything to plant because people have been buying up everything. So I've been that busy. So today I'm taking the initiative and I'm going to go ahead and plant a lot of stuff today because if I don't get around to it today, I won't have anything left of I won't have anything left for me to plant in my garden. So today I'm going to plant some things in my beds because I've been busy selling stuff, selling a lot of plants. So I just realized I didn't have my shoes on because my socks were getting wet. So you can see my plant beds look a mess. And so I literally have to go in and pull everything out because my plant beds have not been tended to because I've been busy tending to other plant beds and selling vegetables. I love selling vegetables, so I do a lot of vegetable selling. But it just dawned on me that before I sell out and not have any for my own bed, I'd better get out here and finally clean out my own beds because my beds are filled with stuff. And I like to do my flower gardening first. So that's basically what I've been doing lately is doing my flower garden. But now I need to turn to all of my vegetables because I've been growing vegetables. I just haven't planted any. And the reason I hadn't planted any is because I've been busy selling them. But I just realized the other day that I'm almost sold out. So I literally some of the vegetables have to grow more vegetables for myself. I sold out of a lot, but I figured I better grab hold of some of these tomato plants before it's too late. Huh. Well, that was one of my. I'm kind of bummed out about that. That was one of mine. I think it might be still a little live. I'm gonna put that back, but that was one of right there. I'm gonna stick it back in there. But that was one of mine. I'm a little disappointed because I really liked these. So I'm hoping that that didn't die on me. So as you can see, I'm just cleaning out some of these and then I'm going to move them because this isn't where they go. Everything ended up over here because we had to redo our deck. We had to oil the deck. So we moved a lot of stuff over here while we re-oiled the deck. So you can see I'm pulling out. I have a few weeds that grew in, but not too many. And again, pulling out. This is all from like last year because I didn't clear out my vegetable gardens last year. I got a little behind, and so I didn't clear them out. So now I'm doing that. I don't get a lot of weeds in my vegetable in these. Look at that. An old squash. I like to, call me weird, but I see these kind of things, how they deteriorate and that kind of stuff. And so that was an old squash that clearly stayed in here too long. And there you go. This is for catching bees, but it's all broken. we're going to get rid of that. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff in here. So I'm clearing out these beds so that I can replant in them. I'm going to replant in these beds. My soil is still good. So, see this bed, I have no idea why, but it's gathered some weeds in it. Even all the way up here. It's like, goodness, how did I get weeds in this flower bed? And I do like the moss. I actually when I get moss, I like to keep it because I have a little garden down there that I like to add the moss to. So I got some nice moss right here. So I'll be keeping that. It's like fine moss. I like to keep it. Oh, what do you know? I got a sweet pea. I actually have a sugar pea growing from last year. How cool is that? It obviously was warm enough in this bed for a sugar pea to grow again this year. Wow, wow, wow. I am just like, wow, that's pretty amazing to me. Because beans and peas, they don't just continue to grow in these kind of beds. Let me put that up there. So, that's pretty amazing that I have a sugar pea being growing. Got some more moss. So, of course, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it right there and let it grow because now that is my champion sugar bean. Because it decided to grow against all odds. Look at that. I'm pretty sure that probably was, what is that, zucchini or something, that big. It was either zucchini or I was growing some, I'm going to put this over here. So, and this is a wild weed. I don't even know how that got in here. But it looks like it had several things growing on its own, which is always exciting. Always, always exciting when other things decide to continue to grow, whether I want them to or not. It's going against all odds. I love it. Love it, love it, love it when vegetables when vegetables go against all odds, especially out here. It's not like it's the warmest climate on the planet out here in Colorado. I mean, it's not the coldest. We get some nice weather. But to have things continue to grow against all odds, I am impressed. And the other thing is I don't even think that's the area where I planted the sugar peas. I think that was a seed that grew. I'm going to put this up here. That's all my moss. Yes, I have moss, so I'm going to keep that moss. Because I like using that for something else. So, since I have sugar peas already growing in here, I'm just going to grow them in here. I'm just going to grow them in there, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to move this, and we're going to move these over. I'm just lifting them, and I'm like, am I going to move them over, or am I going to get my kids to move them over? Because I'm just trying to see if there's something I can pull over, or how heavy they are. Because I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever moved these. I've never moved these. I always get my kiddos to move them. So, it seems like they might be just a little too heavy for me. So, I'm going to grab somebody to help me move them. Grabbing somebody to help me move them. What? All right, let's we're gonna move them over here.
Move what over where?
Over here. That's what they look like before it came over. Because I was trying to clean it. Not clean it, I was trying to get it off. Nope. Nope. Nope, that's not it. Uh-uh. So, I'm going to leave it out the tank once more. Come on. Well, that one, it's a Kurdish too. From Grandma. Ready? Oh, now. There you go. They're wet. Over there.
Yeah.
All right. Take these off. So this is what I grow my beans on. I like growing my beans on this as opposed to like putting. I used to do things like this, and I used to do the wrap as well.
Oh, I have jury duty tomorrow. Ooh.
Oh dear.
Oh, and the court doesn't pay me. My job has to pay me for the first 4 days.
Ready?
Our political system go back to.
Alright.
I don't know.
Alright.
I don't wanna be
Archaic
here
time.
anymore. I just don't want to.
Okay. I know. Ready?
Yeah, yeah.
Up. This one's full of water. Wow. How heavy it is. Ow. Here, let's move this. It's gotta go over there. Okay. Let's just move it this way. Just move it this way. Let me do it over there. Still with water. Alright, so let's put the line more. Over here. Done. Let's do this one. One more. And then we have to put these pots. All the pots you move.
But I didn't move any of these.
Who moved these to do this? Yeah, you moved it last year to do the ground. Did Dad move them when you went over there? You took them from over there, ready?
Over there.
Mm-hmm. When you did the deck. All the way over. what I used to put my beans on. It was always interesting. Okay, thanks, Lou.
Of course.
This is what I used to put my beans on, and as you can see, it's kind of rickety. So I didn't like putting beans on this. I changed it to what I put my beans on now. So we're gonna come over here. Come over here to this side. We're gonna come over this way, where I am now, because this is where I'm going to be working. We're gonna put up my little bean thing first, because I have beans. So we're gonna start with these. So there's several different things you can use when you're stringing up your beans. This is one. I like these. You can use wire, and you can use the other. It's more like a strip, like a Velcro strip. But I like these better because your beans won't get damaged, because this will track to the post, and then your bean will be free to flow in here. So that's why I like these better. So those are really nice for bean posting when you're going to post your beans or put your beans up. And just about anything, because these work really well. So this little part attaches to the bean, the post, and then your beans are right inside. So this works fantastic for doing beans. Any stringy thing that has to grow up, these work wonderful. I love those. I absolutely love them. And so, like I said, I use these. So when I put the beans on, this right here will attach to that part. And then you can see that then the bean will be able to just kind of grow right in there through there, which is really cool. So you don't have, your bean won't sustain any damage. And if you've grown beans before, you know that's really important, because they will get damaged. So let's just face it, beans will get damaged. They are weird like that. So, yeah. And I really like those. And you know, those are just metal. What I'm using, these are just the metal fencing. You can just buy them. They're metal fencing. So I like using them. So grab this one. And I have lots of beans on this one. I forgot to clear off. I'm going to clear it off today. Okay. Look at that. Ugh, that's all the beans I didn't clear off last year. This one, yeah, difficult. Not right. There we go. Yeah, back up. Yeah. Oh, that's wire over here. Now we got it. Now I'm going to do a little stringing up. With these are some old ones that I'm not using anymore. So I'm going to use these. I'm going to use these to hold these in place. I want to hold them in place. So I'm going to come here. I really don't want them falling down. Now we're going to put some vegetables in. Ah. I'm going to start with some sugar peas. That's what I'm going to start with. we'll start with some sugar peas, and then we'll start with some other stuff. So let's get the sugar peas started. If you guys have some questions, let me know. That's why I'm here. And make sure you're sharing the video. We're gonna come over here and do something because these beds are pretty good, but I'm going to go inside these beds and fluff them up a little bit. Do a little fluff. Fluff, fluff, fluff. Um, let's see. I liked it when it used to let me share and do some tags, but it doesn't let me do that anymore. So you guys will have to share for me. Share what I'm doing. Because it doesn't let me um, share as much. So you guys share for me. Share the page. Um, so if you're around, share, share, share. Share, share, share. Share the page. Share what I'm doing. Share the gardening. Share the love. Share the love. So we're gonna do some more. Let's see. I'm gonna do. It used to let me tag people, but now it doesn't let me tag people like it used to. So I'm gonna do this one. I'll tag. So if you're around, let me know. I'm just gonna tag a few people. Let you know that I'm live. Come join me. I know when I do the normal Facebook Live, it just lets me tag whoever, which is cool. But when I'm doing this, I have to. It doesn't let me tag as many people. So if you're around, tag some people, send them, and say like. All right, let's get my big shovel out. Shovel. So I'm stirring up, kind of getting it mixed up a little bit. Um, Wakening up the soil. I'm going to plant some stuff in it. I'm not doing snow peas this year, but I do have some really interesting beans I'm doing. And I am doing, I will be doing sugar peas. And I will be doing other stuff. I'll be doing some tomatoes. Tomatoes. So I'm just kind of rustling up my soil because I want my soil to be aired out. So that's what I'm doing. Putting some air in. Allow my soil to get a little air. It's been sitting all winter airless. It's compact, so I'm uncompacting it. I'm taking to compact this out. It's not incredibly compact because it's really good soil. So, but I am ruffling it up so it gets some air inside. Moving it around because I want my soil to move around pretty much. Move around. I don't like my soil to be stiff. So I'm airing it and moving it around. Letting it get some air inside of it. So if you have soil and you've planted in it, get out there and move it around. Don't just plant in it without rustling it up a little bit. You never know what you might find in it. You might find some of your old sticks in it. You might find a little mold in it. Things that you want to take out, like those. Old planting materials that you might find in it, which will be decomposed, but you might want to pick them out. So there we go. So that's pretty good. And I found a few things in my soil that I wanted to take out. So I don't want to leave these in my soil, so I'm taking these out. So you definitely want to get in there, especially if they're beds you've had already, and just kind of wake the soil up a little bit. Use your shovel, get in there, stir it up a little bit before you start planting in it. Stir the soil up a little bit so it'll be awakened. So I have some of these sugar peas that I'm going to be putting in. I'm going to be doing these sugar peas today. And I have some tomatoes and I'm going to do some cucumbers. So I'm just going to line them up. And I like these because these right here, I can plant them directly in the ground with these. This is a paper one. So as you can see, it decomposes, which is great. I am going to peel the top part off because I want it to be even with my garden. And I'm just going to put enough sugar peas. And these grow like crazy. So I'm going to put enough of them just for this one. Because I have some other beans that I'm going to put in. So I'm just going to put enough sugar peas in for here. And right here, this is the sugar pea that just decided to grow on its own from last year, which is like highly commendable to that sugar pea for being daring and taking a stand and being out here growing on its own. The other thing that I'm going to be planting today is these right here are sweet peppers, and these are my sweet peppers. I grew these. All of the things that you see in here I grew, so I'm going to go ahead and plant these sweet peppers, and they're starters. You can see, but these are nice, healthy. They're grown and they're organic, and they're grown in organic soil. So very healthy sweet peppers. So I'm going to actually plant them down here. This is my little sweet pepper area. So I'm going to plant sweet peppers in there. And then I have some other beans that are going to go along here. And so what I do with my garden is I go beans, tomatoes, and then cucumbers right up front. So I use my garden very I use my garden well. I like planting. I don't like losing space. So, and I have some zucchini as well. So I'm going to be putting some zucchini in. And I have another bed where I'll be putting some zucchini in, but I'm going to put some in here. And I'm only going to do 2 plants because they hang down. And trust me when I say they get crazy. Zucchini gets crazy. So you definitely want to be careful with how much zucchini you put in the bed and where do you put them, because I'm going to be doing some cucumbers in here as well, but I'm going to do zucchini up here, and then I'll do some cucumbers and some tomatoes, and like I said, all along the back end, I'll be doing the beans. I'll be doing beans all along the back end, and I actually have some beans that I didn't plant, but I'm going to go ahead and put them in. Where are they? That I wanted, which are these. These are garden pinto beans, and I really loved having them last year. So, but I forgot to start them indoors. So I'm actually going to put some of these garden pinto beans in now because I want to have these pinto beans for because I like the way they grew last year in my garden. Grow really nicely. There we go. Grow my own pinto beans. So I just put these pinto beans in because I forgot to start them this year. So I just put them in the ground just now. I'm just going to grow them from a bean in the ground right now. Ta-da! I'm just going to grow them. So first I'm going to start off with these. I'm going to start off with these sweet peas. So come on over and you can see how I'm going to plant these sweet peas. So I'm going to put these sweet peas in, but I'm going to peel the tops off because I don't want these tops. I don't want this top edge, so I'm going to put these sweet peas in without the top edge. So I'm going to go ahead and dig a nice little hole for them, and I'm going to put them right there and there. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Take the top off. Dig in there. Give a nice little space for them. Put them in. And you can see I'm planting the whole thing. I'm planting the whole thing in the ground. I actually probably put another sweet pea in there, which I think I'm going to do. I really enjoyed drying these last year. They're nice and sweet. Really nice, sweet pea. And you can eat them right off the vine, which is great. I'm going to put another one right here. I think I can do two right here, so I'm going to do that. Because I think I have another one up there, so don't want to make it feel bad. Ooh, this one's kind of dry though, but I'm going to fill it anyway. This one's a little dry. It needs some water. Make sure I put some water in it. There we go. I got one more, so I'm going to grab that one. It's a small one. Okay. Looks like I have two more. But I'm going to grab this one. And we're going to put this one in. This one's a little one. It almost didn't make it, but there it is. I'm doing that moist soil. I think it'll be okay. Come on, little one. There you go. Put it in some moist soil and put some nice water on it. I think it'll be fine. Now we're just going to bury them in this nice, rich soil. That's what it is. This is some nice, rich soil. I'm going to bury them in that. And let them grow. And then I'm going to put some water on everything. But this soil is really wet already. So this soil, I think I can get one more in there. I got another one. Might as well put it in. And this one, poor thing, barely made it. But it's here. So look at how tiny that is. But I'm going to put it in. It's barely making it. But there it is. And so since it's here, I'm going to plant it. And even though it's barely making it, it's like I'm barely making it, but I'm here. And since it is here, I'm going to go ahead and plant it. Why not? Give it a shot. Give everything a shot to grow and become all that it can be. I don't know. It might be one of my best ones. Who knows? You know, it might grow up to be one of the best plants in here. So I like to give everything an opportunity to prove itself. So there we go. We have all of our beans in. So we have all the beans in. And these are sweet peas. These are sweet beans. So they're not like regular beans. They're sweet peas. And you eat them directly off the vine. You eat those directly off the vine, which is nice. I mean, you could open them up and cook them if you want to, but I eat them. They're really sweet. They're sugar daddy peas. So they are delicious off the vine. Absolutely delicious off the vine. So we're going to dig a hole here. And like I said, we've already roughed up the soil, which is great. We've already roughed up this soil. And now we're going to add this one. And I'm going to take this off. I put these on. This is one of the things I was telling you about. This is you can prop up plants with this. It has a sort of a Velcro to it, and so it sticks to itself, but it's good for plants because it won't squash them. And I've used that, and I've used the wire. If I had to choose something over the wire, it would be that. Um, but like I said, I like these other little things better to prop up my these kind of plants to prop up my beans because they actually don't touch at all. They don't touch the plant at all, which I like that even more. I like that even more than the wire and the Velcro one. So, but if I had to choose, I'd choose the Velcro over the wire because the Velcro doesn't damage the plant. Sometimes, if you're not careful, you'll damage the plant with the wire, trying to twist the wire around it. Whereas with that, you won't damage the plant. So as you can see, I'm peeling the top part of this off, and then I'm just sticking it in there. But I'm keeping all of that on the plant because this is just paper, and it'll disintegrate, and it'll just turn into a nice little mulch in there with the plant, so it's nice and healthy. Um, to be able to use those little planting pots. I like using those kind of planting pots all the time because they're great when it comes to planting them with the plant, and you don't have to move them out. So you create less damage. I find that you create less damage, less disturbing. You don't disturb the plant as much, which is great. So I like using those. So in here, I'm going to actually be doing my pepper. And like I said, my pepper's small, but mighty. It's small but mighty. So I'm gonna small but mighty pepper. I'm gonna dig that. The nice thing about this, oh, I turned you all the way over there. The nice thing about this is I can just pop it right out, which is nice. And I get this nice little, look at that. I get this nice little square. You can see the growth. Can you see that? That's like right there. You could see the there it is, the roots growing. Yeah, nice. You see the roots growing. So we're gonna plop him right in here. Plop him right in there. And the soil is nice and moist already, which is great. So, and then I'm just gonna put him right through this hole that I already have in here from last year. So we're gonna start another one. There's another one in here. I think I have, here's a wire. So you can see I use all kinds of things. So that's a wire, but I'm not using wire this year. And here's an old coconut. Um, that's an old coconut potting thing that I used last year, but I'm not using this year because I don't know, the coconut ones I didn't savor so much. I just felt that they kept too much. I don't know. I just didn't feel that they helped the plant grow like I would want them to grow. So I didn't favor the coconut ones as much. So, but that's me. You might be a big coconut planter fan. I just didn't. For me, they didn't. I didn't favor them as much. So, and they just don't decompose as quickly as I would want them to. See that? That's from last year, and they just don't decompose as much or quickly enough for me. But for other people, they might be fine. I didn't like it, so I won't be buying any more coconut ones for me. I mean, other than to show people the different planting pots, I won't be using coconut ones for my own personal use. There we go. All right. So now I have all of there. Those are all my peppers, and they're all coming through. There we go. So those are all my tiny little peppers, and I like having those. My tiny little starters. Love, love, love. And so I'm going to be doing some tomatoes. So, oh, but I'll be doing tomatoes later. So I just wanted to say, I'm going to pull this up. Thanks, guys. So I just did some sugar sweet peas, some peppers, and some zucchini today. And I'm actually going to be doing some more. I'm going to be doing some tomatoes, but I'm just going to videotape that because we're almost at an hour. And I don't want to keep you longer than an hour. So check back in and you'll be able to see my full garden all planted. a little later. So check back in. And I might come on a little later. Who knows? Because today it's plant day. Like I said, I've sold most things, so I need to get my stuff in the ground. So I just want to say thank you guys for hanging out with me and sharing with me my plant day. Bye.
I feel like the purpose of my art is to bring peace and harmony into a world where chaos has become the norm.
Are you Black? Are you an artist? Then you need to be a part of the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show coming this September 2nd through the 5th. Come and join the virtual arts revolution. Yes, this September 2nd through the 5th. We want you to apply today. www.thebeautyofblacknessfineartshow.com. That's www.thebeautyofblacknessfineartshow.com. You come and be a part of the virtual art revolution. This is all live, all virtual, no recordings. See you soon.